All right, welcome back to Everyone Needs an Aquarius. We back in the building. Dom, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay in these streets. This is like full week 2 of being laid off. And I've been enjoying my vacation. I've been in this creative space. You see, I'm on my TikTok
Oh no,
every
you up on
day.
it again? Tell them about what the series you got cracking.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I got this series where my mom has given me a lot of her old clothing.
And
It's, and
my question for you is sidebar: did you steal these from your mama, or did she really?
She really gave them to me. I'm not that child.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
not
just
that
making sure.
child. So my mom has given me a lot of clothing and stuff like that. And some of the pieces I've had for a little while. So I figured that I would create a series called I Get It From My Mama. And then it would be a series of different outfits that I could show y'all that my mom has given me. So it's just been fun. So right now I have two out. One of them is kind of going up on YouTube. It has like 1.3 thousand views, and then the
Yeah.
other one I need to take it down and repost it because it's only got like 14 views. And I was like, okay, see this
Oh, you
algorithm.
just did something wrong. Yeah, you did something wrong.
I ain't do nothing wrong. I
No,
think
no, I'm saying it's just didn't catch it. Just re-put that. Like,
Yeah, and so I'm gonna delete it and then put it back
Yep.
up. So that's what I'm doing, and so it's been well received. TikTok is really enjoying it. So is Instagram. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, just in my creation bag. I actually just booked some guests for my podcast. So I'm just in a very, very creative space and just, blessed. And so now I'm getting in the nitty gritty of writing a treatment for my show that I was telling you about with
Yep,
me and
yep,
my
yep.
old
Don't
roommate.
tell the streets. Don't tell the streets.
Yeah, that's all they need to know. Um, so yeah, it's just been exciting. So I am, dealing with my dog that's in heat. Hopefully this is over soon because she didn't get inseminated this time. If she don't get inseminated next time, she's getting fixed. So
So is she acting up? Like, did she act up or something? Or
like they don't have cramps or whatever, anything like women. Like, I mean, not that she's not a mammal, but you know what I mean, like humans.
yeah.
But she just being packed, honestly. So I really can't tell too much of the difference. She needy,
So
but
you don't know the difference between.
like my child is spoiled. My puppy dog is spoiled, and she, I could just do something, and she's talking back. She grunting. She's saying all this stuff, and I'm just like, so now it's been shut the hell up because I'm not in the mood like for you to be talking back to me.
I'm not moved for
So
all your stuff right now.
and so she's just looking at me crazy. So yeah, that's it. I listen. Let me tell you right now. I'm just like, girl. I am tired. I'm tired of your shenanigans, as Jocelyn Hernandez says. So how are you?
Look, hold on. I gotta just send this text to Xander real quick. She asking me about her noodles real quick. Hold up. um. Oh man, this week's been crazy. With everything with the tornado, man. My grandma stayed with me for 2 nights. She's 92, so y'all
Oh,
just put
nice.
in that in there. You know, put
I
that.
mean, when I say nice, that's nice that you have a grandmother that is still living,
Oh
but
yes.
under
Oh, I'm
unfortunate
blessed.
circumstances.
Yes. Um, but having a 92-year-old at your house and you trying to watch the Shy season 7 premiere, and she's like, "Why they cussing so much?" You like, aren't you just supposed to be sitting over there on the couch, just chilling, looking at your tablet?
She is offended. She is offended. She is like, this is too vulgar for me. Why does this, how can else can they say this? Why is that man's butt cracked there?
Yeah.
She would fall out with the righteous gender. It would kill her. It was
Oh
so many
no. Yeah.
penises everywhere.
Oh, that would be like if I was intentionally trying to murder this woman. Like I would just put on something like that. That she just,
Right.
Jesus. That woman would bless oil me to death. I'd come back with a low haircut and everything because
Oh
I'd have
my
been blessed
God.
oil to death, and she didn't. She already on a campaign to get me to cut my hair, all kind of stuff. So
Oh yeah. You are definitely, yeah, definitely no.
Yeah, but man, let's start out talking about the tornado, man. It hit St. Louis this past Friday. Crazy tornado hit the actual city in mid west side of St. Louis, central west end, north side, and part of Clayton and Brentwood. Just sliced straight through. And most tornadoes don't hit major cities at
Hmm.
all because tornadoes can't pick up enough steam. But for whatever reason, the way that the pressure is between the cold and the hot just builds in there and just exploded and came out.
Yeah, it was a matter of like 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, devastation, man. When I'm talking about, St. Louis North Side was already having its issues, population wise and rebuilding and just getting people there. And I'm gonna play this video real quick for everybody to peep out this stuff, and then we could dive into it real quick. But it's interesting.
You're seeing are from North St. Louis this afternoon. We spoke to residents whose homes and communities were completely destroyed as they were left to fend for themselves without any support. Despite the city investing millions in a new siren system and testing it for hours yesterday, community members said they heard nothing before the tornado struck. There was no warning that a deadly tornado was about to hit. Our members were on the ground immediately, distributing water, cutting back trees, and comforting families. The city abandoned these people. One man waited for hours for an ambulance to come, his back gashed and ribs broken. Police sat and guarded empty streets, while blocks away people picked through the tattered remains of their homes. We will be out again tomorrow at 10 a.m. distributing food and water, as well as coordinating cleanup response. Please.
So it's just some of it. We can talk about a little bit about the sirens thing in a second, and how
That's my elementary school.
that's what I was just to say. I was like, that's over there. That's over by the fountain. Yeah.
Yes, over by the fountain, which, by the way, has a statue of Martin Luther King that also was knocked over. And somebody came through and stole the hands of the statue, cut the hands off. So
Yeah, it was a sad thing, man. Like, I mean, because my grandmother, I grew up in the Ville, so like I said, my grandmother stayed with me. Her power was out for some days, and the Ville, like, man, like it was just like I understand and know potentially, and I'm not trying to compare this to all my LA people or, but it felt like what it would be like if it was a riot. But it wasn't a riot. That makes sense. Like the way it was a street.
or those. I mean, it looks like the Altadena wildfires.
Yeah, and it's looked
Yeah.
like this, and there's people just out, and it's devastation. And then it's like it hit the north side, man, and parts of the west side, and you're like, God damn, man, like
Yeah,
those areas are already trying to,
it's
come back.
already devastation.
Already fucked up, And
Yeah.
the Ville itself, man, that's a historical area, one of the most historical north side areas, in the city. But my grandmother's house and all that area was straight. There's just some trees down around there. But that area on basically everything, yeah, it was weird. So it went like in a diagonal. So it missed most of the Ville, but it was just the strong storms was taking down some of the trees. But it went diagonal and basically messed up a lot of everything north of Fairground Park up to O'Fallon Place to O'Fallon Park was like, dude, it looked like they dropped a bomb over there. And I did not see the area that was worse, just as bad south of Page on the west side and Central West End. They said it was pretty bad over that way too. It went diagonal. If you look at the map, it went diagonal through Clayton, part of Central West End, part of the north side on the northwest side, then went up northeast through O'Fallon Park and Fairground Park and stuff. And you go through there, man, and I'm talking about it's just roofs is off the crib. Half of the cribs are off. Just full on devastation. And then the even sadder parts of seeing the people, man, and just like it's already fucked up on the north side, man. It has already been this city's been promising so much to the north side, and a lot of times I wouldn't say I feel bad, but like, damn, man, I made it up out of the north side. I didn't did this, but I mean the north side be on some shit. I ain't gonna be fronting, man. But it's a beautiful place at the same time, and it's beautiful people. And one thing I want to say is, man, I stopped believing in conspiracy theories in 2003. That is documented on this show. But y'all people saying that they use HARP to take down the north side so that they can gentrify it is crazy. Now, I will say that we do have to watch for the new gentrification coming in because of this situation. But
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that they put the governmental weather system conspiracy and decided that the Central West End, Clayton, and the North Side and parts of the West Side were going to be affected. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, unfortunately, like you said,
So for people that are not from St. Louis, Clayton and parts of the West Side, Central West End, got bread. So we can't. It's
yeah,
not only just areas that have lower income. Like it went straight through. It got everybody. It
yeah,
got the richest people all the way to the poorest people.
yeah.
This storm or tornado.
So people are aware of how long ago it was. There was a tornado that touched down in St. Louis City.
Mm-hmm.
It was 1967.
Yeah, that was last time.
And that was a long time ago. And it's funny because when it touched down in the city, that tornado knocked the back porch off of my grandfather's house where I spent part of my life.
Oh,
so
wow.
I remember my grandfather telling us that. But on top of the conspiracy theory, I think that like what you said is the reality. You know, I'm thinking about the perspective of people being underinsured, not having homeowners insurance, not having renters insurance, and what that looks like for those people, because we know from Katrina how FEMA does not come in and aid our people or anybody really for that matter efficiently and appropriately. I think they were giving people in Katrina with like $500 stipends and all of that stuff.
That ain't even happening for this one because they shut down FEMA.
I think what's important right now is understanding community. And, you know, Mike Butler said something really interesting, and I grew up with Mikey. And
shout out to Mike Butler, man. That's my guy.
Yeah, he made a post that pretty much, and I wanna read it word for word because it is very powerful what he said in regards to this and the aftermath. And so he posted, after 2 years of picking every little thing that went wrong in the city's government and placing it at the feet of Mayor Jones, promising thousands of voters to focus on basic city services, and can't even get a basic button pushed during the tornado. So for everybody, the sirens were not alarmed everywhere. Phones were not alerted properly. And a lot of people were outside because if you see some of the videos, people were outside doing yard work and all these different things. And then next thing you know, here's the tornado.
5 people died. No siren going off for the north side and west side.
So he says, why am I angry? Because I was in Forest Park when the tornado hit. I was outside. I know there were no sirens and I was able to take shelter seconds before the brunt of the storm hit, but some of my friends did not. They had to ride it out in what we thought was a severe storm in their car. Only halfway through the 30-second disaster did we realize, oh shit, this is a tornado. Now imagine thousands of other people doing the same thing. In result, people have died, lost their homes, and are still going without power, etc. This isn't a my bad, hold me accountable. This is incompetence. This is what $1.3 million in donations gets us. Why am I angry? After dodging the question about sirens for 2 days, Cara named several construction companies that she's working with to rebuild the city and did not name not one black company. My people are good enough to volunteer and collect replies for recovery, but not to rebuild their own communities. This is what $1.3 million in donation gets us. You know, I was going to wait until the initial recovery was over and we get past this crisis, but I got to thinking, Cara never waited to get in front of a camera to dog out to Shara Jones. And many of her voters didn't either. They're trying so hard to let her off the hook when they were never going, when they never would have for our last mayor. He didn't lie.
No, and if everybody doesn't know, our listeners that aren't from St. Louis, that we just had an election. New mayor just took office. It was very contentious between Cara Spencer and the former mayor, Tashar Jones. Super contentious. Google it, check it out. Um, Very contentious race on a lot of sides. You had diss tracks coming out from rappers against Cara Spencer. It was a lot. It was a lot
Yeah, it was a
in that
lot.
race.
It might.
Podcast, we definitely discuss healing. We discuss aspects of psychology. We discuss, like, you becoming the best you, mental wellness,
For sure.
health.
Femininity, parenthood, dating,
Definitely
as
dating.
single parents. And it's from a lens of two psychologists,
Yeah.
So
But also to people who grew up like with both parents, married parents, and then, like, you all know that Chloe and I are the youngest of our crews, like her siblings and my siblings. So yeah, so it's from that perspective.
looking
as
at
that.
life through that lens. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get a whole lot of things from us. From us being women, going through life as parents, and all of these awesome attributes. But
Yeah.
yes, womanology, the study of women.
The study of women.
But Cara ended up trying to blame Tashara for something in 2021 with this instead of just moving forward and saying we fucked up.
Exactly.
And
So
that's
it's
not how you
always,
start out with this, Cara. Like
yeah,
that,
it's a lot of finger pointing everywhere except for her. And like I said, I saw by the time she went to ground zero, she is in how we're gonna say Sunday's best. We're gonna say air quote on best because she had on heels and like these nights. I'm like, girl, this is devastation. This is not a fashion show. Read the room. People have lost their homes. You know, people have lost their lives, like their everything. And my concern is just similarly to Altadena, like you said, what's gonna happen? I know they're encouraging people to hold on to their bricks because they don't even make bricks like those. A lot of those homes are made out of anymore.
and it makes the best bricks in the country, maybe
And
the world.
yeah, and how people already came through and the debris wasn't even cleaned up, and y'all trying to offer to buy people's properties, their lots and all that stuff in Altadena. I'm afraid of that happening in St. Louis as well. And that is the reality because, like I said, I'm thinking about the lack thereof homeowners insurance, underinsured, have renters insurance. So it's like, what are we supposed to do? And so for some people, it's just like, you know what, damn, fuck it. Like this is the only way that I can kind of recoup something. And then you're hearing all this rich history, people saying, oh, that home was in our family for 4 generations, da 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 da. And we know how segregated St. Louis is. And it's always somebody, out the window, like looking for a come up or whatever. And it's tough. And when I was tweeting about that, this girl, I don't know who she is, kind of tried to come at me. Like, we need to, as a person that was in the direct path of that, we need to not be thinking or speaking negatively. We need to be solution based. Bitch, I'm being solution. That is the solution for some people. That is, and that sounds fucked up, but that's really some people's reality. Like, look at how they were even doing people in Palisades or even the fires before, like not even trying to cover people in the path of wildfires, and they lost their homes. And these are people that have money, not even wanting to insure them. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like back home. And it's, and while I can understand you not wanting to live in reality, this is just unfortunately reality and the solution for some people.
Yeah, and this is the thing, man, is that St. Louis, look, we gonna be good, man. We gonna rise like every other time. We've always been the underdog in this country, and we've always been able to rise up and do what we have to do. And maybe this will give us the kicking ass to get back to where we were previous before, especially when it comes to our economics and trend setting and style, fashion, those different things.
It's
Not even just style and fashion, but and community-based stuff. This being more community-based, like we were. Like, it was so crazy. Like, so every day since my grandmother's been back home, I've been going taking stuff over there like twice a day to making sure she's straight. And I've been taking Xander's ending her season for soccer, so they've been having more practices and more like stuff going on. So we've been going over there every day before her games these last few days. Not games, her practice last few days. And I've been purposely going ahead of time for she could see the stuff that is happening there, you know what I'm saying? Because, and I'll point out to her like, yo, used to be this. That used to be this.
Yeah.
I used to do this over here, you know. And the crazier part is that some of the stuff I was talking about was already gone before I'm even telling her. It wasn't like it was already gone. Yeah. So it wasn't like it got messed up in this form, but it was more of just her. And then she just be looking like, damn, like, and I'm like, yeah, it used to be. And then we just need to be taking care of more of our north side areas, because some areas, even though it was the hood and niggas is always up to some shit, motherfuckers kept their lines on point. They would do certain different things, but niggas might be into some bullshit. It was still the 90s in St. Louis. It still was going to be what it was, but people would take care of their big mama crib, still was taken care of. You know, people still were doing those things, and we need to get back to that. And that's not just the north side of St. Louis. That's overall, because these properties is going all you gonna have in a minute, because what they try, and I know they doing it in LA area, aren't they trying to move everybody like to Lancaster and like all the way up that way? What Lancaster? What's the other one? Is it?
I mean Santa Clarita, like our places. So, but
what's the one after Lancaster?
Oh, I don't know.
It's another little area right after Lancaster. Fuck.
I think, you know, people been talking about like the concept of smart cities. You and I talked about it when we talked about Altadena, and having a more surveilled situation, which, you know, yes and no. But it's just really unfortunate. And, you know, like, so one of the tap rooms that got hit, my church is off of Annie Malone and North Market. So the tap room. Oh, I'm trying to think.
Palmdale. That's
yeah.
Palmdale.
You know, just seeing all that stuff that you should see that had like, oh, I can remember seeing my grandpa's car outside of this place. You know, him playing pool. So it's just really interesting. It's just wild. Like, I think I'm still in shock, and my best friend is directly impacted by this. So
is your sister's power out?
No. Like, so my sister's spot, they didn't get hit. She didn't get hit. My parent, well, my dad lives more in the county, Pagedale, and then my mom on the west side didn't get hit. She said like one of her properties, something probably blew up at the window, but they getting that taken care of. Like, she's like, oh, I'm gonna just have it boarded so I can get the window, you know. But she said everything else was fine. So, you know, thank goodness. But it's just still sad just seeing everybody go through this, seeing different posts on Facebook, and it's just feeling helpless, because I'm like, dang, should I go home for a little while and volunteer? You know, because St. Louis does mean so much to me. And when everything happened with Altadena, I couldn't get out there and volunteer because of my asthma. And then I was like sick, all these different things. So even like, as they're like, I know they haven't really fully started like even cleaning up all of that stuff, but you have to even be mindful of that, because you're kicking up like old dust and debris and different things. So, you know, it's just really tough. And man, y'all gotta pray for St. Louis.
Yeah, but we'll be resilient, man. But the sirens not coming on, like, man.
I mean, that is it. Those families that everybody needs. And
the governor of the state need to kick his ass in too. Parsons, your bitch ass need to come on and do some stuff too, though, because you was short enough. Y'all, the state of Missouri was sure enough trying to get on that paper they got from the Rams, and trying to dip into that money. Oh, come on and let's dip on back then.
Yep.
And we might have to use that Rams money, y'all. I'm sorry, to help rebuild the city. I know we want to try to.
I mean, I would rather use it for that than it just go into somebody's pocket, because that's all it was going to do.
Everybody, they were trying to entice businesses and try to set up some infrastructure, but we can't do that right now. We got to rebuild the city right now. So
yeah,
even though it hurt me, because I was like, damn, we could be flipping that money, you know, but we need to help these people and recover them.
Yeah, and honestly, the citizens need to turn around and sue and sue the city. Because at this point, like think about the people, especially people who lost family. Like, what if somebody, like, not somebody just being in their house. Like, I'm outside and I could have died because y'all didn't sound this alarm. What if somebody did? So, like, some of the people might have died outside, and you didn't sound an alarm. You didn't press a button. And like, why? You know, the question that we keep getting asked is, why isn't this automated? Why? And y'all saying y'all spent millions of dollars on this system. Why isn't that automated? Because if something goes off an error, just like it happened out here where it told people to evacuate and the fires were nowhere near where these people were, or how people got boil orders in certain areas, that it wasn't true. That it's nothing to send a follow-up text saying, hey, this is an error, or, this is just a test or something. I'd rather, which is true, I'd rather it be a mistake than I'm not alerted at all.
Right. And then it's like, oh, yeah, we messed up, y'all.
My friend's husband, my friend's wife, I'm sorry, was in her car and her window blew out in her car.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe, you know what? You might be onto something with the lawsuit.
They need to sue them because this is ridiculous. And like I said, it can't be, oh, well, tornado, Mother Nature. It's like, no, but we're talking about the precautions that we could have taken. If I'm upstairs on the top floor of my house and my roof just blow off, and I'm supposed to be in the cellar or the basement, I sustained this injury, that could have been prevented by a siren. I could have been in the basement.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, well, man, keep praying for St. Louis. Pray. It was Kentucky took some damage too, man. So shout out those brothers and sisters in Kentucky as well.
Man.
Yeah. So keep y'all prayers up, and if you can send something to the STL's way, or you could do something to help out, or give some shouts out, do whatever you can. In all these disasters that's gonna be, because it's not gonna be the last one, because we just started,
Yeah.
And we got hurricane season at the end of this year. So, and shout out to Donald Trump for shutting down FEMA.
Wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
You said something about a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
How y'all getting a hurricane?
No, I said hurricane season's not to the end of the year for everybody. I'm saying like natural disasters.
Oh, I thought I was like.
No. I mean natural disasters in general.
I'm sorry. No. I was like, yo.
No, you good. Okay. All right. Dom, your boy, Tory Lanez, they say he getting out. Hold on. Let me play this for the folks. He getting out, right? That's what they say.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm, gunshots came from the passenger side.
All right, Dom, what you got?
Okay. I just want to remind people that, again, court of law, we talk about under oath. We talked about how Lil Kim ended up in jail,
Mm-hmm.
lying under oath, all these different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to play.
Press 1 to accept the call. To deny this call, thank you for using Telmate. Okay. Huh? I'm from the hospital. I'm outside the hospital. My what? Okay, and then I'm gonna skip it ahead. So, with that being said, I'm like, okay, so we all know that, sorry, I never. So, again, you already know you're a felon. You're not supposed to even be around a gun. Which we know, nigga. We know niggas. Y'all be whatever. But you also know that Kelsey was granted immunity on waive to her Fifth Amendment rights because we talked about this on the live last week. That will require her to tell the truth about what happened. Okay, great, whatever. But also, again, in the comments throughout social media, as people was putting it on Kelsey, Tory is commenting that that's not what happened. That's not true. Kelsey didn't shoot anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that's what happened, my question is to you, why are you taking the fall for somebody for a street code that you don't even got to abide by? You're not from here. And you can say,
You saying street code doesn't matter if you're in a different country?
listen, if you talking about, oh, my family, me being away from my kid is at risk, I'm going to say without saying, it's so many ways that you can say that this allegedly I did not do this. You could say whatever, because all we know is Megan's story, which is I was walking away. I got out the car. I was walking away. And by the time whomever saw this tussle, they was late to the party. Also, like I said, y'all talking about hearsay, post something, this is now coming
That's
up.
my main thing is like, who is this random person
And that's what I'm saying. This could be somebody random. But also, like I said, this entire time, this is a thing because of what you did. You started trolling Meg online, and that's how this even came out. But it was the state that pressed charges against her, Tory Lanez, not Meg. I said last week, just like Rihanna didn't press charges against Chris Brown, the state of California did. Cassie is not pressing charges against Puff Daddy. The state of New York is. So I don't understand why everybody is so lost about what's happening. And this is all hearsay. And it seems like this case of his people playing these blogs, just like how he's texting Jason Lee, which is weird. And I want to say something about him, who always tries to play like he's this guy's girl or whatever, or like he wants to empower women, but then you get up there and you tear women down all the time. You talk to them crazy. You don't support and uplift. And again, y'all are sitting up here acting as if this person was like, heal the world, let's make it a better place. No, the fuck he's not. And sometimes, you know what, guys? There are consequences for your actions. And now y'all trying to flip this, onto Kelsey even more, which causes even more harassment for her. So to take this, it's like, oh, you're this you this person. I took the L. No, I'm sorry. If I know I didn't do something and I know all these things are at jeopardy for me, my life, and I get it, men or whatever, like, oh, I try to protect 2 black women. No, the fuck you did it. Because if you did, you wouldn't have started that shit to begin with. We are here because of you. The police was already outside of y'all dispute in the gunshots. Once the hospital was gonna have to report that it was fragments of gun, like of a casing in her foot of a bullet. So I don't understand what the hang up is. And then you got, people like this idiot that is that's out here, that is the prosecutor, saying, I'm calling on Governor Gavin Newsom to review Tory Lanez's case and issue a pardon. His 10-year sentence was based on flawed evidence, political pressure, and prosecutorial bias. Justice must be blind, not driven by headlines. And everybody's talking about free Tory Lanez or whatever. Like, who are you? And here's the thing: it's like Megan identified him as the person firing 5 rounds at her. He called the person he is saying is the shooter, and he was apologizing. Gunshot residue was on his hands. He refused to testify. He refused to assist the police in the investigation. He appears to be paying people to pretend to hear things. Justice isn't pardon. Justice is arguing your perspective in front of a jury, which he refused to do, which is fact. He does not deserve a pardon. Did you all review the evidence, or you ran to headlines that are meant to elicit emotions and feelings? So I'm just like, I'm just trying to understand why y'all are really going hard for this nigga. It makes no sense to me. Because why would you say dance bitch? And I get it. All y'all are drunk. Y'all was leaving that girl house drunk. But I think it's weird that you calling Kelsey, again, the person that you saying that's supposed to have shot her, apologizing for your actions. I didn't mean for any of this to happen like this. Let people say, oh, that's just because of how his behavior was at Kylie. He was coming on to Kylie, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, if you believe that Kelsey did this, are you going to put this on Kelsey? Because Meg didn't shoot herself. I'm not calling Kelsey. I'm not saying nothing to her at all. Nobody in their right mind with sense would even call her. It looks like you are trying to do damage control. You know that call is recorded.
I mean, what my main thing is with this is, and even before we even finish up, make sure y'all go check out our Diddy Watch segment every Wednesday live, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We'll be back again this week. But my main thing is, hey man, y'all niggas be acting like these be political prisoners that be in here for these jail sentences. These is not Mumia Abdul-Jamal. This ain't Assata Shakur. This ain't no Sundial Kofi. This ain't no
Nelson Mandela.
Matula Shakur. This ain't no Nelson Mandela, where someone that was fighting for people and fighting for who we are. This is a nigga of songs that I don't even barely know.
But the other weird part about this that's just really interesting.
My thing
It's
is,
when we talk about like you said, the
and I
conspiracy.
get it if he did not do it, but it all points to him doing it. And people were like, well, his gun residue wasn't on his hands, and I forgot some other bullshit about there out there with that. Now, all three of them is dumb motherfuckers, though, man. All three of them. Kelsey, dumb as hell for thinking that she could she tried to tiptoe both lines. She tried to do the I'm gonna get immunity and then plead the fifth at the same time and be able to tiptoe it and make it all ambiguous that people don't know what. But damn, she got immunity and she committed the fifth. Ooh, she can come out and say that she did it. Then Meg is dumb for fucking with a short nigga like Tory Lanez in the first place. That was her fuck up in the general. And she should have came out the beginning saying that, hey, it was him. And then Tory should have been like, yo, I was fucked up. I shot at her or whatever. Boom, let me go and take my probation and keep it pushing. Or he could have not fucked with Meg about it, and when she wasn't gonna say nothing about it at all, and then just be like, "Yo, my bad."
But like I said, we're here because of you. And
his actions. And I know he's young and he was fucked up and he was dumb, but you gotta take responsibility for that. And it's convenient that he's trying to use all these different ploys to try to fucking get out of jail. The thing, and I'm glad this brother is not hurt from his altercation in prison recently. We were stabbed those many times. But it's like, it was convenient that he said that the lawyer comes out with all this shit like right after that, but they've not put any paperwork in. There's no paperwork been put in. Everybody's talking about, well, we have new information and we finna put in this. There's no paperwork put in.
There's no paperwork.
Some ass Republican representative saying that they're finna petition Gavin Newsom
to
release him.
But it's also, you know, if anything, like I said, you know, when you made the statement earlier in regards to black people and conspiracy theory, when the facts are there, why can't we just deal in a fact?
Anna Pauline is her name.
Yeah, that's the tweet
and
that I read.
She ain't even in the goddamn state. She in Florida. She ain't even in California. She ain't got
like
shit.
I said, it's weird that it's all these Republicans trying to back this nigga up, and it's just like, we'll get there. But also, like I said, nigga, when the facts are the facts, like we said regarding Puffy's case, the state not gonna come after you unless they know they can guarantee they can get a conviction. Is the law fucked up? Yes. But, you know, and everybody, we talked about this. Are we surprised if they didn't have him deported? But then it's like the reality is like he'll likely get deported after his sentence or whatever. But it's just weird to me that here the sky is blue. Well, that's not true because of, you know, XYZ, and then it's really magenta mixed with white, and no, but the fact is the motherfucking sky is blue.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's even sadder, Dom, low key? All these cats really think all these people gonna get off, and they're very similar to Trump supporters. Because they'll flip this somehow in some way. Like, remember, everyone was so sure Tory was going to get off. Remember? They were like, it ain't no way.
Well, when it came out how he was paying, they were paying all these blogs, and they wasn't even paying him a lot of money.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but even then, this regular people was like, oh man, I think Tory going to get off.
Yeah,
and there was nowhere close to it. He was built on every one of them.
It's just a lot of incel behavior. And what I want people to understand is, and I had a post about this the other day asking if are y'all all right, because y'all are allowing a lot of the people that was in resource that actively did not try to get better to figure out whatever ism that they had, you know, whatever little tick, maybe they couldn't add, maybe they couldn't read properly or whatever. Y'all are giving them this space and this platform to lead y'all. Academics is one of them. Joe Budden is one of them. I'm like, I need Mark Lamont Hill to stop going on that platform, because now I'm starting to look at you crazy, because them niggas can't be paying you like that. Take your ass back to Al Jazeera and talk to people with sense, because them niggas, because that light-skinned weird cat on that show, I don't even know that motherfucking name.
Ish.
Well, bitch is his name.
No, don't do that.
I did it. And don't delete it. Leave it in there.
Come on, man.
Because to me, it's like, I don't understand how y'all don't understand, even as they're talking about, like, poor guy, Mark Lamont, is trying to break down the Puffy case to them. And it's like it just doesn't register because we've seen Joe Budden be an abuser on Love and Hip Hop multiple times. The stuff that Ish
Have
says,
we seen it on Love and Hip Hop or just heard of him being an abuser? That's two different things.
nigga, we're actively seeing him emotionally break down women on Love.
Okay, yeah. Good. Thank you for the clarification of like, because some people would think. I know he's been accused of
years ago how he.
No. I just said that. I just said he's been accused of physical abuse.
No. It's
But I'm
too
saying,
many.
but on the show, it was emotional abuse. You're saying.
Like we said about Trey Songz, where there's smoke, there's fire. So we've heard about things regarding him in the physical sense. We've seen it in the literal sense. So I'm not. They go hand in hand, and I think I need people to understand that abuse and what people do to survive in abuse is so many things. So you can say that Cassie was this active, willing participant in XYZ, but you're now finding out that, hey, when I tried to leave, this is what happened. Today it came out that Cassie's mama ended up paying him $20,000 to not leak a sex tape of them. Her and him, when it was rumored that she was kicking it with Kid Cudi. If that's not abuse.
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
And then we talk about revenge porn.
Yeah,
that is illegal.
That on Surviving Diddy. Make sure y'all tune in.
I just want people to understand that. And then y'all so used to having relationships and seeing y'all parents in emotionally, in abusive relationships. And you perpetuate that shit because you think it's normal.
Yeah.
And so y'all look at people like a Meg or a Cassie or a Hallie that they're lying. And a lot of it, and I'll say this, let me be real with you.
Okay.
A lot of this shit comes from, when I say incel behavior, it is men and a certain level of entitlement that men still feel like they should have. And we talk about the lane when they know that a woman of that caliber ain't gonna fuck with them. So for them, it feels good when they see women like that or that look like that are telling their stories that they're hurting. And then you have women that perpetuate that. And this is what I mean when I say women don't understand the plight of women. Those pick-me bitches. And they lift up what the bullshit that them lame ass niggas are doing. So y'all gaslight people, and then you turn around and you having the same experience at the hand of a broke ass nigga that's been on your motherfucking couch for several years. and that's the reality. We all have been in some sort, and to be honest, because we are dating, and when you're dating and you're experiencing different things, you're learning what you like, what you don't like, what's your deal breaker. A lot of us, in so many ways, shapes, or form, have been or almost have been abused in some kind of way or have experienced some kind of trauma in our relationships, whether you have been the person doing it or you have been on the receiving end. And yes, there are some women that are out there and some men that are stronger that can recognize the sign. It's like, if I stay here any longer, this is going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
What did prime example, I just told you some shit offline.
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is why, because that person is also an abuser. They got one on payroll.
Mm-hmm.
That is the reality.
Well, Tory didn't get out of jail as far as I can tell right now.
It's still like I said, like
unless they get some kind of helicopter evidence with videotape on it. Tory, you just want to sit down for your how long he been in? About a year now?
Yeah.
You got nine.
A couple years now. But like I said, at this point, y'all haven't done anything really to file an appeal. Like you said, filing that paperwork. So y'all saying all of this stuff, but where is the paperwork?
No paperwork. There's no paperwork. It's just talking.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Y'all haven't. Have you?
It's weird because Tory's trying to. It's like he's trying to win public opinion. Like that's going to change his fortune. That's not how legality works. It's weird. Like he wants the public opinion to be like free Tory.
But that's unfortunate. This is what I mean. Niggas need to learn how to read and learn the law. And then y'all always want to get up on this soapbox and say the law.
And why were y'all trying to free Mutulu Shakur, fucking Tupac's stepfather? All he did for us as black people, starting up nutritional basis, acupuncture clinics, medical clinics, and things like that. Why won't y'all fight for him as much as y'all fight for some punk ass Tory Lanez? Where was all the free Mutulu Shakur? Where's all the free Mamouy Abdul Jamals? Where are those at? For the brother that was starting a newspaper in Philly that was there getting the word out and the message out about our people and being able to educate us. Where's all the free Mamias? What y'all worried about Tory Lanez?
So apparently he has filed an appeal against his conviction. His lawyers filed it back in 2023.
No, they filed some new paperwork. Remember, they just put it in.
They put it in, but then it hadn't gone through.
Yeah, it is no paperwork has gone through yet. And that's been a week. So if you look it up, there's no paperwork going through. It's like saying my check is in the mail.
So, like I said,
this nigga, I'm just saying, man, why don't y'all have the same energy for our black political prisoners?
I mean, because niggas love to nig, but won't go read a book. Won't invest in their own community. And honestly, and I know this is such a small percent. And
it's not most of y'all.
It's loud because of our algorithm, and we know.
Yeah, and most people are smart enough to understand it.
And too busy going on no jumper, telling on themselves. It's fucking weird. Like I'm telling you, these are all the kids in fucking resource. And there's nothing wrong with resource. And that's the thing. It's like I was talking to some friends that work in education and how this girl she's a junior in high school talking like a toddler, talking about him went to the bathroom and won't go to resource talking about she make us read. Well, bitch, it sounds like you need to read.
Wow. Him going to the bathroom. Damn.
Heal the world, make it a better place.
All right. I told you that, remember I said the Running Man was coming out. It's faster than I thought it was going to be, though. I said we was going to be older. But there is a Trump reality series, or a reality series about getting your green card. Hold on, let me make sure I get the show right that they're pitching around. All right, it's in the New York Times, a reality show where immigrants compete for US citizenship. So his officials are considering this. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security is reported considering an out-of-the-box pitch to participate in television game show that would have immigrants compete to obtain citizenship. Department spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin described the pitch to the New York Times as a celebration of being an American. It said the show would include the challenges based on American traditions. In a statement, McLaughlin said, "We need to revive patriotic and civic duty in this country, and we're happy to review out-of-the-box pitches. This pitch has not received approval or rejection by the staff." Now, what you think finna be happening after this? The Running Man. Fight for your green card. Y'all thought I was bullshitting. They just doing some little tricks to wet your palate for it right now. They wetting your palate with a little game show to get your green card or your citizenship or fast track your US citizenship. We gonna make it a reality show. I'm telling you that Running Man is coming up soon.
Yo, at this point, I could say, like, we got to be in the Truman Show.
I agree.
There are certain things that just happen, and I'm consistently looking around. Where are the cameras? Is there a camera hidden in my TV? Because there's no way that this is happening. And it's not. It's honestly not shocking. It's just disgusting and despicable, and I just can't. I can't. This is wild. Like, why? People are dying. People are starving. Roofs are being blown off of houses. You got wildfires, and this motherfucker up here talking about, oh, we need to do this to get AI to work even more. Oh my God! Like, Jesus, take the wheel, start the rapture.
Hey, I told y'all they gonna have a Running Man. It's gonna be the Running Man.
Dude.
They already bringing back American Gladiators too. Watch that crossover in a couple of years.
Oh my God, this is just ridiculous. Like, how is this even a thing? How is this even a thing?
It's a real, like, the Department of Homeland Security said this ain't like no.
Isn't this I feel like this is some sort of safety breach. While they doing this, next thing you know, we gonna have another terrorist attack.
All right, let me read another paragraph. Hold on, I got more. Hold on. It says,
"Oh my God."
Overseeing the deportation. Oh, the idea for the reality show is pitched by Rob Warsuf, the Canadian-born producer and writer who worked on Duck Dynasty, a reality TV show about Louisiana hunting family popular with Trump supporters. In an interview, Warsuf told the New York Times that the proposal originated from his own experience with the naturalization process to become a U.S. citizen. Describing the project, he said one of the challenges might center on NASA to see which participant could assemble and launch a rocket first. The Wall Street Journal received a 36-page slide deck laying out Warsof's idea, which he said he pitched the department during the Obama administration and again during the Biden administration. According to the journal, his proposal includes a one-hour episode. It begins with immigrants sailing to Ellis Island, once a key point of entry for millions of people arriving in the U.S. Other colleagues entail a gold rush competition set in San Francisco and an auto assembly line contest in Detroit. Hold on. The show could conclude with the winner being sworn in as a U.S. citizen. Then Warsuf goes, "This isn't the Hunger Games for immigrants." This is not. Hey, if they lose, we're shipping you out on a boat out the country. So he said, this is not, hey, if you lose, we're shipping you out a boat in the country. So he's saying you're not doing that. But I bet you they'll figure out a way to get you back out. So, yeah, I told you. You're right.
That's ridiculous.
Hey, he pitched it during Obama.
Like,
them motherfuckers
like you, and the fact that this person has been trying to get this greenlit for you, white people are crazy. Let me just.
Hey, and Trump is so like a 5-year-old. He like, that sounds like a good idea.
I think that this might be a good idea, to get people to come here, and people want to be here so bad. Ooh, fuck this shit.
Make it a game show. And watch him try to host it too.
Uh-huh.
So RG3, former quarterback for the Washington national team. I don't call them the other name. Are they the Washington Commandos now? Or Commanders now? Then Ryan Clark, former player as well for the Washington Commanders, have been getting going a little back and forth a little bit. I'm gonna play. We got a little bit here. We're gonna play back and forth the clips of each one of them. First, we're gonna go with RG3's original statement by Angel Reese, then Ryan Clark's response to him, and then RG3's rebuttal to Ryan Clark. So here we go.
There was this type of reaction last year when Angel Reese got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun. Y'all remember that? She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul. What did Angel Reese do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her. You know why? The reaction was different because of who did it. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just
for reference, everybody just watch his white wife in the left corner. No, I'm not. This is funny. It's just a funny observation.
See her dumb ass back there.
Yeah, baby, get her. You get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player if they don't dislike that player? Okay, you want some more evidence. Here's some more evidence. Remember last year when they were talking about who gets the credit for the expansion and the eyeballs and the popularity boost of women's basketball? Not just the WNBA, but women's basketball in general, because of the spike in the women's NCAA tournament and WNBA viewership. A lot of people were attributing that to Caitlin Clark, and rightfully so. This is what Angel Reese had to say, and I quote, "People are talking about women's basketball. You never would think they'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to the games. We got celebrities coming to the games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. Just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on to be that for my teammates. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, the reason we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too. I want y'all to realize that." Now, I heard a lot of people say that I or others have made Angel Reese the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad?
All right, let's go to Ryan Clark because he's going to be talking again in a minute. So let's get Ryan Clark's response to his response.
3 called what Angel Reese did hate. He said you could see the hate on her face for Caitlin Clark. I'm not really sure when we moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what black women have to endure in this country, about what young black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady. I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what black women deal with a lot from black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over black women by denigrating black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the black women that have come before her. And now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes. And I think this is what I'd like RG3 to know, that no matter how much he continues to echo the microaggressions of racists, he'll be no less black than me.
Hold up. Take us to McCaffin.
All right. Now, finally, y'all, we just want to get everything laid out before we
Oh
dive
my! Do we have to hear that boy speak again?
Yes, we did.
Oh my God!
Hold on. Maybe I didn't download it. Maybe we don't need to. Hold on. I know I downloaded them. Hold on. There we go. Oh, there we
What's up, everybody? It's your boy RG3, and I just wanted to get on here and talk.
What if DLC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the game never leaves G-Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip-hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Is, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip-hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened. We reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Is.
You guys, because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of conversations about my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, which was purely based in basketball. But I think all of you know there's a line in life that you just simply don't cross. Wives and children are always off limits. And Ryan Clark has sprinted past that line. Ryan Clark didn't like my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And that's fine. It's okay. It's part of the game. Sports media, I'm going to have an opinion. This person might not agree with it. That person might not agree with it. But what you don't do is turn around and personally attack me and my family just because you don't agree with a sports opinion that is purely based off the sport. I didn't make it personal. But what that really shows is just how low of a...
Yep, pause it. Go ahead.
Resource. Continue.
person Ryan Clark is. But Ryan, across the line, man. You made it personal and some. I really believe there should be no
resource
in sports media for personal attacks. I've said it before. But certainly personal attacks against wife and children have always been off limits. Ryan, you attacked me and my family in a public forum on a level that shows just how low of a human being you are. You can disagree with me all you want. Challenge my takes. But keep my family and my wife out of it. That's a boundary that should always be respected, man. Always.
We don't need to hear no more. We don't need to hear no more.
Now, I'm going to say something. I agree that you shouldn't be bringing up other people's wives.
Nope.
But nope. Let me finish. But in the case of RG3, he's been egregious. I'm willing to let it slide here.
So I want people to understand something.
It's a history of it too. It's not.
Yeah.
And shout out to Rob Parker. If anybody remembers Rob Parker, the sports analyst that called him a cornball like 10 years ago and people got on him. Hey, man, we owe you an apology, B. I'm sorry. We owe you an apology. I'm sorry. We owe you an apology. At some point, I'm going to do a Rob Parker tribute. I'm going to have to do one for him because he was right about RG3.
Okay. So I want to go back.
All my sports fans know. All my sports fans, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
So I want to go back to my statement about resource and being able to comprehend efficiently what someone is saying. So what Ryan Clark said in response to RG3's initial, well, we're going to call him Robert. That's his name, right? Robert.
Yeah, Robert.
Initial video is that there are key points here that were touched upon. So he never degraded and never talked shit about the wife. What he was saying was, you are degrading this black woman and you got this bitch this woman propped up, this white woman in the background, kicking, yeah, she did do that, yeah. So now this goes back to what we say as black women all the time. Hey, leave us out of it. Do what you do, but leave us out of it. You're not, don't come in here trying to play in our face and trying to one up us with your milk, as you say. And somebody pulled up all the receipts of him consistently saying that about the women that he was messing with. You're a weirdo. You're a fetishizer. You fetishizing your wife, your previous wife. And at the end of the day, your kids look more black than they look white. So, with that being said, because had he had sense enough to break down what Ryan said to him, he would have caught that. He wasn't talking shit on your wife. Actually, he gave your wife more praise than you even give her as a human being.
He said she's cool. She was more than what just being
hey, she's more than what she looks like. Her dumb ass sitting back there. Yeah, baby. Let her know. So then we have to go into the white supremacist standpoint of it, the colorist standpoint of it, because like he said, and like I said, this goes back to people hating themselves, people being mad because they want to date people that look like an Angel Reese, a Meg, or whatever, but they know that ain't they lame because they lame. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
And so while you miss the mark again, because you didn't say anything about the way that Angel plays, she's hating. She's hating on y'all.
I don't know how you would know that someone hate. You could say someone dislikes someone, they don't like them.
We're playing
unless they say it themselves.
And why are women excused from, why is it her being emotional and all these things, and when we playing sports just like you? Y'all you don't get on your soapbox and say that Draymond hates the Joker or whatever because he kicked him in his balls. You don't get on there and say that Draymond hates Bradley Beal. They got in a fight. They was choking each other out. Oh, that's just testosterone, but they being emotional. It's the same fucking sport. We all playing sports. We all get competitive. That's part of the game. But you hate your mammy. And you probably hate your grandmammy, and you hate yourself. So let's stay there for a second.
Go ahead.
And then you wanna say all these things like, oh, you talk to family and kids are off limits. You went too low. No, I educated you and I called you out on your behavior of why you should not do things like that. That's, again, Ryan said what everybody been saying. Y'all been pitting her against Angel against everybody else this whole time. Well, she said she was the villain. Everybody got a villain, or like everybody in somebody's book is a villain. That's not what she's saying. Again, you can't comprehend. You just don't like her because she black.
Yeah.
And a lot of y'all got homoerotic behaviors and y'all fuck on women and talk shit. Because you can't go and be with your homeboy.
Hey, you can't do that's a
Yup.
you can't do
Get in
that. You
there.
can't say that.
Yes, I can.
You can't say that.
You can't gaslight my experience as a black woman, as a woman, just in general.
I got you.
That
I mean,
is
you can't
our
say that they
reality.
want to fuck on their
But
home.
also, like I said, black women don't bother nobody. That's
But you
y'all.
can't say that somebody wants to fuck on their homeboy. Just that's a
We'll go back to that one day. We'll do a whole
That's a
breakdown.
deeper conversation.
Now that is a deeper conversation because part of it is true.
Yeah,
Not
but you can't
relate.
blanketly say that.
I can. Moving on. Black women, we don't say nothing. We're not thinking about nobody and what you got going on. And we always tell people, hey, love who you love, fuck on who you want to fuck on, but not at the expense of black women. You don't get to come in here and do what he did with the antics and think that it's just okay and nobody's going to say nothing. Well, today it wasn't a black woman that says it was a black man that called you on your bullshit. And you don't even have nothing to say to that. Oh, you just took it too far. You too low. But if that was a black chick, he would have the words. You got clocked. And that's just what it is. And shout out to you, Ryan Clark. You the bomb. Thanks.
Shout out to everybody though with that. So finally, this one's gonna be a little bit of fun, but somewhat serious. Here we go. Hey, look, I'm just trying to help the people out. Hold on.
Actually, I low-key think there's an update too.
It is. I want to play a game with you too in a second.
Okay.
As soon as my thing didn't get me. All right, here you go, Don. Our last story today.
A manhunt in Louisiana is entering its 5th day after 10 inmates escaped from a jail in New Orleans early Friday morning. As of Monday night, 6 of the men were still at large.
We have indication that these detainees received assistance in their escape from individuals inside of our department, and the escape was discovered during a routine head count at 8:30 a.m. this morning. They were able to break open a door. There was a corrections monitoring technician in the pod module to be watching that. They were still able to exit the jail about 1:01 a.m. after breaching a wall behind a toilet in the jail. And based on video surveillance, they were seen exiting a door on the docks where we normally bring in supplies, scaling a wall, and running across the interstate shortly thereafter. We do acknowledge there is no way people can get out of this facility without there being some type of lapse in security. There's no way. It's almost impossible, not completely, but almost impossible for anybody to get out of this facility without help from the outside. We intend to find out exactly what happened.
Our focus right now should be twofold. Supporting the efforts to bring these individuals and what our chief and law enforcement agencies are doing back into custody, and to make immediate changes to ensure that this has the slightest, most minute probability that it'll ever happen again. We know the jail
are participating.
Hold on, let me see.
Even if you're scared, we can help you. It can change course. For those who are the escapee, you are going to be taken into custody. So let's just do it now.
Those are very dangerous individuals. They're accused over. It's not going to pass over.
This massive jailbreak, which
All right. So I'm gonna play a game with you, Dom. I'm gonna pull up the file of all the guys on the run
Okay.
and who was caught and who wasn't.
Okay.
So shout out to the first brother who actually got caught because he went on Instagram Live.
Yeah, what an idiot.
And he had to let the hood know he was out.
Dude, just wild. Just
I'm
wild.
out.
I'm
I know
like,
they couldn't hold me down. Please
dude.
leave it. Hold on, let me get this.
Okay, it's 5 of them that's still at large, but I think it's down to 2. I think they have more of them. I'm trying to see what the latest update
It's
is.
6-4 got caught. At least I see on this 4 have gotten caught.
Okay, I got one that was updated 10 minutes ago.
I'm gonna put up the picture here with all the file.
Okay.
I had to convert this. All right. So everybody, if you're listening to us online, you should be anyway. I mean, if you listen to us on YouTube, you should be anyway. Checking us out there as well. All right, Dom, here you go. This is all the brothers here. We're gonna play a game. Who you think gonna be last to not get jammed up, to get caught? Who? So far, Kendall Miles locked up. I think he's the one that went on Instagram Live. Robert Moody locked up. What is it? O'Keen Dennis?
Yes. Yeah.
O'Keen Dennis locked up. It's another one too, I think.
I think right now, I think that if I'm not mistaken, I think there are a couple of more people.
5 remain at large, it says.
Yeah, 5
All right.
are
Okay, I'm gonna read them off real quick. All the ones that are captured. Declan Dennis, he's locked up.
Okay.
Hold on.
I think Corey is locked up because they showed a picture of him in cuffs. He looked a little different.
Oh, they got him too?
Yeah, I think Corey is locked up.
Oh, I had it.
They arrested a maintenance worker. He's being held from the prison.
He was helping them out.
He was $1.1 million bond.
For helping them out. That's what you get for helping the homies.
Yeah.
All right. Gary Price, locked up. Robert Moody, locked up. Kendall Miles, locked up. So those are the 4 they have here. They said they have a 5th one, but they haven't announced who the 5th one was so far.
I don't know.
Who you got left that you think gonna survive?
So the conversation on Facebook surrounding this, there's a lot of people.
I think Gary Price might be the one that's the other one's locked up. Gary Price, the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. They're saying that they think Derek Groves is going to be the last one standing.
Because I don't know. Because he looks like a stud?
I don't know. Maybe, but
no, that's why people said that, because he looked like he could be a stud.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking maybe Jermaine with them crazy eyes. He seemed a little more low key. I feel like he might be the mastermind. If I was them, I would have been. How many days has it been?
Antoine Massey's got to get locked up. He's got a doggone tattoo down the middle of his forehead.
Yeah, he's too obvious unless somebody has given him makeup. But I would say you should be in Mexico. They should be in Mexico by now. There's no way, because the other 2, they got caught, they went to the French Quarter. So why are you in the French Quarter?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all know that there's mass surveillance down there.
You know what? I think it's Jermaine McDonald. He seemed like he might be smart.
I think it's Jermaine.
And he don't look like he got any tattoos on his neck or nothing that's visible.
He might cut his hair.
That's what I said. Jermaine seemed like he might be smart already cut his hair.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, so.
What did Jermaine Donald do to get in?
I'm already.
Oh, okay.
I already got it. So. I'm trying to see within the article. Because somebody is a serial killer. One of them is a serial killer.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Jermaine Donald, 42, faces charges of second-degree murder, aggravated battery, possession of a firearm or weapon by a felon, and obstruction of justice.
Oh, they called Donald. Damn. They
caught him? They just caught him?
They caught him.
I'm Doja. They sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, though.
Seriously, man. Just Posted. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, everybody coming to watch, though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey, man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
Yep, they just called him.
Damn.
Gary Price got jammed up. Like we said before. So this.
Damn. Okay.
No, he didn't get caught. He didn't get caught.
Okay.
That was misleading. That was misleading. No.
Okay.
So okay. Oh, they got everybody's charges here together too. So all right, who's at large? I'm gonna read them all. Corey Boyd, 19, accused of killing a witness who saw him and others attempted to break into a car in April 2024. He allegedly ran over the witness with the car before an accomplice shot the victim in the head, according to the newspaper. All right. So Linton Van Buren was arrested in 2020 or 2021 on second-degree murder charge while already in custody for armed robbery. Derek Groves was convicted of October of 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder for the 2018 Mardi Gras shooting. Law enforcement expressed concern they may try to locate witnesses in his murder trial. Oh, shit. Leo Tate faces charges including burglary, drug possession, and theft of a motor vehicle. He is previously sentenced in federal court for being a felon in possession of a firearm. He was also connected to a 2018 shooting, but accepted a plea deal and prosecutors dropped second-degree murder and attempted murder charges. He was convicted of obstruction of justice and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Antoine Massey, 52, was charged on domestic abuse. 32, sorry. Charged with domestic abuse involving strangulation and motor vehicle theft. He's also wanted in St. Tammany Parish on charges of kidnapping and rape. Oh, he's a fuck. Antoine Massey can go to hell. Fuck him. Fuck Mr. Massey. Antoine Massey. He looked like it too with all them tattoos on his face. Donald, Jermaine Donald, he's the oldest, I think, 42.
Yep.
He know the game. You right. Was charged with
in Mexico.
Second-degree murder, aggravated battery, possession of a firearm, and obstruction of justice, according to the governor's office. He also can face contraband-related charges by the district attorney's office, but they declined to pursue them. So was it one of the dudes that got caught? That was a serial killer you was talking about?
Yeah, I'm thinking so, because these are just the remaining.
Yeah, these are the guys that were remaining.
Or low key.
Or is it the one that has the two murder charges?
Well, because I'm seeing Derek Groves' faces 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and battery of a correctional facility officer. So maybe him. But I don't know. Let me see.
Which one is that one?
Dude, this is crazy.
Which one is who? Who is who?
That would be motherfucking Derek Groves.
Ooh.
What be happening? Y'all need the Lord. Like, cause how? What be happening? You strangling bitches, and then you probably stole her car. This Antoine Massey.
Antoine Massey. That I want everyone to get their justice, but Antoine Massey is out here raping women, beating them up, doing all kind of, yeah. Jermaine McDowell's the only one I think that he gonna get at least 6, maybe 4 months out running around. Jermaine McDowell. I think everybody else will be wrapped up in the next month.
I don't know.
I think Jermaine might be out there for a minute. He's 41.
Jermaine look like he
41. He's resourceful. He got some homeboys that went to college with him where he didn't finish in California. Look, I'm trying to tell you, Jermaine. I bet you we look up Jermaine. He went to Southern for 2 years. Jermaine went to Southern for 2 years.
This is crazy. This is like crazy that we playing this game of who getting caught next.
Cause they gonna get caught, man. It's hard as fuck.
It's
now.
like guess who?
It's so hard not. You gotta hit the border immediately because we got cameras everywhere.
There's no way. Like,
but it's cameras everywhere. You can't be like,
I will never come back here.
But you can't. It's no way. It's cameras everywhere, man. You'll be thinking that you just going into the Quick Trip. They got you.
Yep.
I'm getting me a honey bun at the Phillips 66. They got you.
Not the Phillips 66. They don't got the good snacks.
I'm just throwing out a regular. You going into the Rice House. They got you.
Yeah, man. Damn.
Yeah. But shout out to them.
We'll have an update next week.
Yeah, they'll probably be called.
And like, is it sad that I'm like, dang, I hope they don't catch Jermaine next week.
I mean, they all need to be caught, to be honest.
They all do need to be caught. I was just like, hey, hold out. Stay low.
Jermaine, I want to know why you shot him. At 40, and look, I'm just saying for him to be 41, I'm just saying it might have been something egregious.
I'm not doing
it. Jermaine, I just, stay out until you can get your paperwork right. I don't know what's going on with you, Jermaine, but you look like you're a on point brother, man. I don't know nothing about you, so you could be horrible.
He got crazy eyes. Are you saying he look on point?
He looked like he on point, like he's serious about it. Like he's taking that thing like, I'm not gonna be here for long.
Oh my God.
Like you said, he looked like he the mastermind. He looking on that picture like, I ain't gonna be here that long. I ain't gonna be here that long. Don't even worry. I ain't gonna be there that long. But of course he had to get some dummier people with him. Somebody to go on Instagram Live and let them know that he back out.
Lord,
you gotta have dummies like that.
At least the people are the stronghold of the internet.
When you escape, you gotta have dummies with you like that. Somebody gotta get called first. But all right, Dom, where can people hit you up at?
Y'all can find me on St. Angela's on Instagram, TikTok, Whiskey Sour. Got a fun episode that I'm about to record, about to drop our episode.
Yeah.
And where else? Threads. Facebook. Y'all just see me. I'm moving around. I got motion. Just be happy I got motion.
All right. Thank y'all for listening as always. We'll be back soon. Peace.